couple of fates of the father, right? So we talked about that everybody wants to grow up and ovulate. Most of us are going to undergo atresia, but we oftentimes can have dominant follicles that don't ever ovulate, and what do we call those? Cysts. The condition being referred to as cystic ovarian disease. Okay, we tend to, literature-wise, majority of that is focused on dairy cattle because it is so relies so heavily on artificial insemination and manipulation of her estrous cycle. We do see it in the mare occasionally. Of course, they're going to give it a different name because it's a mare. And they kind of gloss over it because we don't talk about anything that might be bad about her, so they kind of gloss over in the literature. Then we talked about luteinization without ovulation. All right, and those follicles have to be at least in what phase of a follicular wave? Selection. Why selection? What receptors? LH, right? Because we're talking about luteinizing something, right? So it has to be sensitive to luteinizing hormone, right? So think about those four phases. Anybody can undergo atresia. We all want to make it all the way to the end. Some of us will make it all the way to the end and yet not ever ovulate. Some of us will get halfway there and become completely derailed and skip the final phase of our education and go straight to graduation. So that's how I want to think about that. Everybody in that scenario got recruited. They got recruited from that germinal pool, shown some FSH, started growing a little bit, got active, started making some hormone, and either I got derailed, I got outmanned by some selected and dominant follicles, or I got there, I won ovulation, or then I had some other less common condition, but becomes actually more important to you as a veterinarian because we're going to have to manipulate those end results. Those are going to require our intervention. Okay, so let's talk about follicular cysts. Talk about follicular cysts. We talked about there being two types, right? One of those, follicular and luteal. We have not gotten very far from the main theme of cyclicity. It's either something in a follicular phase, something in a luteal phase. It is a little bit academic to start worrying which is what and how they got there, and they are drastically different. And we said the main difference is what? One has no luteal tissue, one has some. They all started initially producing way more what? Estrogen. The animal is going to exhibit a window of nymphomania. Eventually those granulose cells get tired. They can't make estrogen forever. That kind of wanes off. But we didn't have an LH spike, so we didn't ovulate. So we're still this giant follicle that's now not doing follicular things. To the farmer, what does that cow or that mare look like in the pasture? Like she might be pregnant because we've not seen her cycle back. 3 weeks go by, saw her get exposed. She doesn't cycle back. They go write it on their calendar, and they got a due date written down. She'll calf that day, and when that day starts getting closer, she doesn't really look pregnant, And I've invested, 7, 8 months of feeding this animal that's not going to get a return. All right. Even if we become a luteal cyst, is it physiologically relevant? No. Most people mumbled no. Why? End results, we're going to treat it the same way. You were right. The most correct answer to that question is it physiologically relevant? Yes or no? Most people said no. Why? It's not making any physiologically relative amounts of anything, but it probably is making a little bit of what? Progesterone. If she's ovulated and been exposed, and then we eventually start making a little bit of progesterone, even if it was physiologically relevant, does that change her course of what that farmer sees in the pasture, or does it further promote it? Further promote it. It would continue to make her act like she's in diestrus. Progesterone has what influence on the HPG axis? Negative. It's going to shut everything down. It's only going to further iterate that she looks and acts pregnant. Y'all with me on that? All right. So, we go out to the farm. We're going to palpate some dairy cows that are running them down through there one at a time. And the guy, up there at the head, he yells out a number. Guy over there, technician's got his book or his tablet or his computer. He pulls up the number, and he says to you, bred 63 days ago. All right? So, I now in my mind, I know what a 63-day pregnancy feels like. You will too shortly. So I got these, poison preconceived notions, and I go in there, find that cervix, just like I always do, and I'm going to expect as I go through my direct retraction that I can't really do direct retraction because I should have a gravid horn. Okay, it should give me a little bit of resistance. I can't just freely stand it up like so. So I try to go ahead and do my tonicity check and check for membrane slip. Boom, boom, got a membrane slip in both horns. Prego. Not only is she pregnant, I know she's pregnant beyond 42 days because I don't get a membrane slip in both horns until 42 days. Less than 42 days, it'll only be in one horn. That chorioallantoic membrane has not traversed all the way over yet to the contralateral horn. So if you get a membrane slip only in one horn, that's the horn you ought to focus your palpation on very next because there's probably going to be a 42 day less than 42-day pregnancy in that single horn. Follow me on that logic. All right? So I got a membrane slip in both horns, and so I can go either way I want to. I go out there, and I will feel an amniotic vesicle that is as big as my hand, and I gently start to palpate down within that, slowly putting pressure on it, and I will feel a very, very small house mouse size piece inside that amniotic vesicle. If I don't take my time and palpate deep enough, I will still just feel that big balloon, that amniotic vesicle, but that will have given me two cardinal signs of pregnancy. We'll talk about those later. Just let that be a buzzword for you right now. If I go in there and try to do all that stuff, and I immediately don't get that resistance, when I try to pull that cervix, I start going, uh-oh. I reach out there, man, kind of having a hard time determining exactly what is her uterus. I feel that nice rigid cervix, but I'm not really feeling those delineated horns. I know they're there, and they're just really soft, really thin. Man, what is going on with this cow? I try to keep retracting, I try to keep in contact, I might do some indirect, and just eventually muck around and say, you know what, let me jump over here and see if I can feel an ovary. And I jump over there, and there's perfectly round, a little bit bigger than a golf ball size ovary over there. All right, so now, see what you palpated, see how that was different, why that was different. No cardinal signs of pregnancy. If I was grading tonicity of her uterus, how would I describe that on my palpation sheet? Flaccid. Hard time finding it. So thin, so relaxed, okay? Why is it so relaxed? What fetus are you talking about? Now, if she was pregnant, well, does it? Does she have a real physiologic dose of progesterone on board? What did we talk about that really, where is she really at? Where is this cow never supposed to be? Almost in this pseudo-anestrus state. There's no real dominant functional ovarian structure. And so the uterus just doesn't know what to do. It's like when the balls don't show up. This community and was going to talk to the owner of this business, had to wait, they were on lunch break. I was like, this place is chill, man. They had music rocking in there, everybody, cutting through, hey, how you, man? And then all of a sudden, I hear, hey, lights start flicking, somebody's over at the light switches, music cuts out, and everybody goes back to their post, and in comes the owner of the business. That's what the uterus does when there's no dominant hormone. It is hard A. It's just going to chill, okay? So that cow's just really doing nothing. And that farmer's going to be really disappointed because he thought she was 60 days bred, 63 days bred, because he AI'd her himself. All right, so we've got this cyst. Don't matter if we want to call it follicular, does not matter if you want to call it luteal, because we're going to treat it the same. If we don't have any physiologically dominant tissue type, what can you do to those ovaries? We talked about drugs the other day that we have at our disposal to try to manipulate a reproductive cycle. Sometimes, and remember we said sometimes we're trying to manipulate the estrous cycle and synchronize the estrous cycle. Sometimes we are trying to induce ovulation, a single act or a programmatic approach. Start over, and I'm going to drive this thing. That's usually cattle. Mare, jump in there, see what she's doing, and I'm going to push her to hurry up and get where she's supposed to be and not let her drag that along. Estrous synchronization, ovulation induction. Many times in estrous synchronization for cattle, the end step is ovulation induction. Okay? But in both of those programs, I had one estrous synchronization. I created a follicular wave, and I'm going to push that dominant follicle to ovulate. So I'm manipulating dominant ovarian structures that are physiologically responsive. This mare, huge dominant follicle, greater than 35 millimeters. She has those secondary signs of estrous influence because she has a lot of edema in her uterus. She is actively, I told y'all she's winking and flagging her tail at, even to other mares and geldings in the barn. She's just making sure they know in case they notice now, tell somebody. She's going to let everybody know. And we're going to manipulate that thing. But now you've given me a cyst, which is probably not physiologically active, probably not physiologically responsive, and in its production. What do? How do we get this thing out of the way and get this cow back to cycle? GnRH. What is GnRH going to do to this cow that is doing nothing? It is going to restart the whole system. There's no boss. There's no boss. When we have a problem at the bottom, we look for their superior, their supervisor, right? Well, guess what? The ovary supervisor is going to be controlled by the anterior pituitary. Well, he ain't doing nothing either right now. He's on vacay too, right? And so we just got to keep moving up the ladder. And we want to see the owner. Okay? We want to see the owner. Something has got to be done. All right. I completely 100% agree. GnRH is like doing what? Pushing reset on the system. This thing is all out of whack. Your computer's, blinking. My wife unplugs all electronics. She said, baby, I think it needs a rest. Okay, baby. But I know I do. After that, I'm going to need a rest from you. It don't work that way. And most of the time, though, I come back and it works. So I don't know. Maybe her and the computers have some special relationship. That's what we have to do. We have to start over. So, if I'm going to give this cow a dose of GnRH, tell me exactly now what is really going to happen. We're going to flood that system with GnRH. Walk me through the cascade of events that will occur after you walk up to her with 2 mLs of cysterilin and you stick her in the muscle in front of the shoulder according to BQA guidelines and standards. Stick it and we walk off. What's going to happen? Just like we gave a big old whopping dose of LH and FSH, right? As long as what's working? The anterior pituitary, Okay? But we're going to not make any assumptions about whose fault this was. We just need to fix it. Okay? We've all been in those scenarios. I don't really care whose fault this was. We have to move forward. I had one of those meetings yesterday. I'm not here to talk about what happened. I'm here to talk about how we can fix it. Okay? Spinning our wheels, worrying about who did what. So, let's assume, if we're going to make assumptions, that the anterior pituitary works. So it actually does give us a really big functional dose of LH and FSH. What happens next? So we could eventually end up with a spike in estrogen. Why? If we had a follicle somewhere that was in a selected phase, do you think, knowing what we know about this cow, that she has a whole lot of other follicular activity going on? No. So if you walk up randomly and give any cow on the street or in the pasture a dose of GnRH, it is very likely that in a few days you see that cow act like she's in heat. Everything is going like it should. In this particular scenario, only this particular scenario are you wrong. Any other time you give me that answer, you would have been right. All right? But it's simply because she's not doing anything, right? She's in this pseudo-ancestral state. All right, so what does that dose of FSH then hopefully cause? A new follicular wave, right? Let's get something started. Y'all okay with that? So it's likely to grab some other germinal primordial follicles and say, let's go. We got to get going. Now, did that do anything to the cyst? No. So do we still have a problem? We really haven't fixed anything. You know, some people try to help and they just make things worse. We could have just made things worse. Oh, so could you just have tried to lyse it? I love the thought. I love the thought. If we're going to give something PGF2 alpha, what products am I talking about? Lutelyse or estrumate. Lutelyse or estrumate. One's a natural analog, lutelyse. One's a synthetic product, estrumate. One big dose, lots of side effects. One smaller dose, more concentrated, probably less side effects. What happens if we show this cyst some PGF2 alpha? It might do nothing because it's not really functional, physiologically reactive. What type of tissue do we need? Tissue. So that is the number one answer. Because if we want to get rid of something, and you're talking about repro, give it a dose of prostaglandin. She'll abort. She'll come back into the next cycle 99% of the time. If you give me that answer on any other question, you'd have been right. So you are thinking, you are all in the right zone, okay? And you just found the only two questions you could have been wrong with those answers. That is the normal thought process. That is good. You're making all this stuff come together. So if I give her a dose of prostaglandin, nothing happens. Because I need luteal tissue, functional luteal tissue to get rid of it. Okay? We talked about FSH. Now somebody tried to throw us a curveball and said prostaglandin, and I thought it was a great idea. Now remember, would have made her uterus contract a lot, right? Because it's an embolic too. All right? Or if she was a mare and had heat, she might have stroked out and quit breathing on us. What about that side of LH? If we are going to give a whole bunch of luteinizing hormone to this cyst, regardless if he thinks he's follicular or luteal, what happens?
Would you rather convert it to luteal or you rupture it? Would you rather convert the cyst to luteal tissue or you rupture the cyst itself?
Try to convert the cyst to luteal tissue. So to convert this cyst to luteal tissue, what cells am I looking at cells and theca cells, okay? And remember, those theca cells needed some of that LH to help that granulosa cell utilize FSH. They made that cholesterol molecule into some testosterone, gave it to the friend granulosa cell, and then we started pumping out aromatase and testosterone to estrogens. And eventually, we get more LH, and then we ovulate. Somewhere along the way, that didn't happen right. And we said, when we talked about cysts, that majority of the time, probably, something went wrong with that LH spike. Either it didn't happen, or it happened and we didn't interpret it, because my LH receptors were going haywire that day. Don't know, we're just stuck with a cyst. But did those granulosa cells and theca cells go anywhere? No, they can't just leave, right? They're still there. They didn't get to be luteal cells like they wanted to be. So if the big problem probably had something to do with the LH exposure, why don't we give it some LH and try to luteinize, convert those granulosa cells and those theca cells into luteal cells? Because I can work with luteal tissue, right? I can work with those people. I can't work with granulosa cells as much. Men and granulosa cells don't get along as well. Okay, they're a little bit more unpredictable. I can work with luteal phase real easily. So, you are correct. What's your name? Tony. My man, Tony. Tony is right. We are going to give that cow a dose of GnRH because we want that luteinizing hormone effect. Now, why didn't we just give her LH? Because we still want to get her bred, right? And so we need a follicular wave to do that. But do you think, I'm going to get ahead of myself. I'm not going to say that yet. We're going to go there in a second. Why, though, do you think for a cow that has not ovulated in 63 days that I would want to consider breeding the very next follicular wave? Why? She's been out of the job for a while. I agree. And they're going to be a little bit rusty. And everybody needs to, get back on the line. And we'll have some on-the-job training. We need another ovulation to breed. Fertilizable oocyte, a sperm that has the ability to capacitate and fertilize that oocyte, remember, is one half of the equation. What is the other half of that equation? A functional uterus to grow that conceptus. What is that? What state is that uterus in? It is flaccid. You think we might have some cellular turnover in there? Think we might have a few dust bunnies and cobwebs in the corner because we have not been cleaning up, the factory like we're supposed to? Yes, she indeed would ovulate, and you probably could push her on that follicular wave that you've induced. But I almost promise you that she probably won't stay pregnant. Could happen, probably won't stay pregnant. If I've been out there with a cyst for months, probably won't happen. If somebody calls me and cow to go check this cow, and they say, Doc, we got one real early. I don't know if you're comfortable, but we bred her, 31 days ago. Oh yeah, run her down through here. A lot of times I'll feel a membrane slip. Maybe I don't feel that little tiny English pea size or less. Probably big grain of rice size vesicle. But if I maybe cheat and touch that over there where I think it is, and I feel a CL, I feel pretty confident. Could grab my ultrasound, throw it on there. 31 days, I should already have a heartbeat too. Bingo. If I go 31 days, no cardinal signs, the most likely answer is I just didn't get pregnant. But she was cycled 10 days ago. Did not see her in heat. Now palpate my ovaries, cyst. Now we've only been hanging out about 10 days, 2 weeks max, longer than we should have. I don't have much concern about whipping her back into shape. Okay? And trying to breed on sequential heat for that cow. But I'm gonna do some special things, and don't let me forget to tell you how I would really treat a cystic cow. So we gave GnRH, FSH allowed us to start a new follicular wave, LH allowed us to luteinize that cyst, convert all those granulosa cells and thickest cells that's just been hanging out since ovulation, convert them to luteal tissue. Now, what am I going to do with this giant ball of luteal tissue? Now I can lyse it. Now I can lyse it. So then I'm going to give her a dose of prostaglandin. Now I've got to wait a minute. Okay, I've got to wait a minute. Anybody have any idea how long it will take that cyst to convert over to luteal tissue and become physiologically responsive? I don't need it necessarily to be physiologically active. And do y'all understand what I'm saying with those two different terms? Active or reactive, okay? I don't need it to make progesterone. I just need it to be accepting to let someone else come inside and talk to them about doing something else. Okay, I'm not asking you to go right back to work. Come in and let's talk about it. As soon as they open the door, knock them in the teeth. And we're going to kill them. Lice. Murder that CL. They've just been troublemakers. Okay? Y'all follow me on that. Anybody know how long it's going to take that cyst to become physiologically reactive luteal tissue? Got A, 3 days. I got B, like 3 days. 3 to 7. 10's on the table now. 7 is a good answer, at least. So, if we make this thing into a giant corpus luteum, when in a normal cycle would you have a nice, really pretty, physiologically reactive, and in a normal estrous cycle, physiologically active CL3? Like day 7, on out to day what? At least 14, and if we don't have it what on board and we're a cow, interferon tau, then my uterus releases some prostaglandins and down goes CL3. So let's use what we know is normal. That's where we start. That's what I'm telling you. If you don't know what normal is, you can't handle abnormal. You will not know what to do with abnormal if you don't understand normal. So if it was normal, I feel like I probably have to wait 7 days. But it's not normal, is it? So maybe what should I consider? Wait a few more days, right? Yeah, I like that answer. And I would. I'd probably wait at least 10 days, maybe 2 weeks. Because those guys are slow. They were lazy. They didn't want to do their job the first time. So we had to go in there and remotivate everybody. So they're not going to do what they're supposed to on time. So let's just give it a minute and let's wait about 10 days. Let's wait about 14 days. I really, really like that answer. And then I can give a dose of prostaglandin. And if I remove now that prostaglandin and I've started another follicular wave, now we can do something. You follow that? I've gotten FSH rolling, I've got a new follicular wave rocking in the background. I now have this luteal tissue that I can actually lyse and get rid of that structure that was non-reactive. I made it a reactive tissue type and I dealt with it. And now I'm moving on. And I'm going to start looking at this other follicular waves. Now, in all of that, even if we made that nice big fake CL by luteinizing that cyst, we gave that dose of GnRH. GnRH tells anterior pituitary, FSH, LH. FSH started up the follicular wave, luteinized anything that was sensitive. It was a dominant follicle, right? It should be sensitive to LH. We luteinize it, then we lyse it. We waited 10 days. In all that picture, when physiologically receptive ball of luteal tissue, I told you that it may not be physiologically active, which means we're not going to depend on it to be producing what? Progesterone. So in that picture where I tried to mimic a diestral window of waiting 10 days before I lysed it, did I really have a true diestrus? Probably not. So if I did not have a real diestrus, what didn't happen in that window of time? Remember the other half of your equation. What is our uterus doing? We knew what that uterus was doing the whole time while we were a cyst. Is it trying to come back? Is it trying to do what it would normally do in diestrus? It would if we were making progesterone. But we can't rely on that, right? We can't depend on this abnormal structure that we talked into doing something for us. We can't depend on it to have made progesterone. That is why I wouldn't be so eager to breed on that very next ovulation. Because however long it went from the last time we were supposed to ovulate, that's how long it's been since that uterus has undergone diestrus. Remember we talked about that uterus, and we said all those layers, estrogen does what, progesterone does what. When we said endometrial, mucosal layers, mucosal, submucosal, whatever you want to call them, what influence did estrogen have? Positive or negative? Positive. What influence did progesterone have? See, you let your little mind, you let your just single cold mind give you the wrong answer. Does progesterone do something to the endometrium? Yes, it's positive. What did we say the positive effects of estrogen were on the uterus? Increasing secretions of mucus. What is the progesterone doing? Uterine milk. Okay, uterine milk. It's preparing for that little conceptus to come on down. Come on down from the AI junction. Come down here and bathe in my histiotrope. Okay? But that didn't happen if we had a cyst. And that didn't happen if we had this pseudo CL that we made. All we're asking that ball of luteal tissue to do is be receptive, not be active. Be reactive or receptive. So we're going to lyse it. The only thing I could have done differently, how could I have, let's say this cow is getting, and these numbers will make sense one day down the road, this cow is out here 75, now Monday she's pushing 100 days in milk and she is not pregnant. Okay, that may mean nothing to you, but she's getting pretty close to getting a dose of tradamycin. If she's getting out there past 100 days, she's not pregnant. Or a dose of New Farm. One of the two. Okay? Who didn't get it? Go ahead and raise your hand. Tradamycin, I put her on the trailer, take her to a New Farm, and not New Farm. It was good. You didn't get it. It'll be better later. Just wait for it. All right. So if she's not pregnant, I really need her to be pregnant because I like her and she's a good cow. How can I manipulate that program that we just talked about and be confident that I could and can and will breed that next ovulation? Give her progesterone. Let's make her uterus think she's in diestrus. So it does its diastral little thing. Now to do that, we'd have to wait about how many days? Y'all told me that diestrus starts on day 17. It usually, rocks around to at least day 15. We're talking about roughly a 10-day window. Well, guess what? No coincidence. That's why I like to wait 10 days before I lyse that pseudo-CL that I made. How can I give this cow a dose of progesterone? Put a cedar in. So I palpate ovarian cyst. Hey, she is not pregnant. this is what I would say. I would say, tone, flaccid, leftovary, NSF, no significant, follicles or no significant structures, right ovary, 4 centimeter cyst. Treatment, GnRH today, cedar today, full cedar, PGF2 alpha, 10 days, BWR. You know what BWR is, Chad? Breathe when ready. Breathe when ready. So today, she's got nothing going on her left ovary. Her uterus is completely quiescent. She has a big old follicle, 4 centimeters. What did I tell you? Normally we ovulate on a cow. 17, 18. So this thing is greater than 2 times. Right? You want to know the definition of a cow? I didn't pick that number by accident. Fluid-filled structure greater than 2 or 2.5 times. You know, normal ovulatory follicle, with no palpable crown or papilla, no detectable luteal tissue in there. Fluid-filled structure greater than 2.5 centimeters, with no palpable crown or papilla, CL, luteal tissue. So we're going to give her a dose of GnRH, push reset. We're going to start us up a follicular wave due to the FSH effect. We're going to luteinize that cyst, the LH effect, and we're going to put in a cedar, a sustained dose of progesterone that we could leave in up to 2 weeks. It'll be that active. Most of the time, you're only using them for about a week, 10 days max. Okay? A lot of people actually take them out, wash them, clean them, stick them in the freezer, and use them again. Some people will autoclave them so they do not induce vaginitis, carry something one or the other. They've actually been found to be more highly active after autoclaving due to denaturing, the slow release mechanism of those little things. So a lot of people do use them, they autoclave them, and know they're good for one more time. They're actually more active.
So,
I don't recommend that. I know people.
so once you give the cedar and she does it, she finishes that cycle, then you take it out and then she's good to go, like she's back on her.
Okay, so so we did all that, GnRH, cedar. Out she goes. That's Monday. The following Thursday, they catch her up. They're going to pull cedar. They're going to give a dose of PGF2 alpha and lyse that luteal tissue that we created. What would normally happen at the end of diestrus? Dose of prostaglandin, progesterone would fall. Okay. Cedar out in the trash can or sink, clean it and autoclave it and freezer, whatever it would do to it. But it comes out of the cow, progesterone will start to now fall when we remove it. If we have a falling progesterone, we should be looking for what? A rise in estrogen. Breed when ready. Breed when ready. What does that mean? We're now going to do estrus detection. We don't have to manipulate her anymore. We've got her back on track. When do you think she's going to ovulate? Think about it. Think back. We just tried to mimic normal. Because we know what normal is. We said, hey girl, here's you a big old dose of normal. Alright, I got something for you. Normal. Be normal. And I gave her a 10-day diestrus, just like the book says. I said, hey girl, guess what? You on day 7 now. Day 7 now. Hey, come back on day 17. What should be happening on 17? Guess what? Progesterone should be falling. Okay? So if we're on day 17, how long is the menstrual cycle for a cow? Anywhere from 18 to 24. So guess what you better be doing tomorrow morning? Watching. If I see her in heat tomorrow morning, what am I going to do? Bring her in the afternoon. AM, PM rule. But I may have to wait up to 6 days potentially. Why? What is it? What is that day? What is that, 12 to, almost a daggone week window? Why? about it? I don't know where she's at in a follicular way. We started one 10 days ago, but I don't know if she's biphasic, triphasic, quadphasic. I don't know if she can rip through 3 of them while I had that cedar in, or if she's growing up one slow follicular wave that I'm going to breed in a few days from now. More than likely not one. More than likely she's that first follicular wave you started very well could have, dip back off and undergo a atresia, but we got things rolling. We put some hormones back in motion, and we got another follicular wave, and it's coming up, and boom, down goes progesterone. I got progesterone. I've got a selected, almost dominant follicle somewhere. A couple of days to finish my deal. Get some LH rocking. Boom, ovulation. You don't follow that. We made her be normal. Something went wrong. It does not matter how it got there, because all you got dealt was a cow with a cyst. And they want her to not have a cyst and have a calf. My fastest track to there is a 10-day cedar sink protocol. Normally I would leave that cedar in for 7 days. Shorten up a really tight diestral window. But I am going to do, you can look up cedar sink right now. Day 0, you give GnRH, put in a cedar. Come back on day 7, full cedar, prostaglandin. We took that 7-day concentrated diestrus and extended it for about 3 more days. Why? Because we don't really know when the last time she had a diestrus was. So we want her to have a real one. Ovulated, when we're doing those off-sync protocols, we're trying to speed it up. We're giving her a big concentrated dose of progesterone, and we're going to shorten it up to a week, as to where it might be 10 or more days. So we're going to go normal. We're just going to let her go through a semi-normal cycle that we completely control. Started with GnRH and pushed reset. Things we talked about, nowhere in that cascade did we actually get a physiologically active source of progesterone. We didn't give her one. And then we had to take it away because we put it there. All right, that was a long ways. That was a long ways around. But do you understand why that works?
Question as far as how likely it is to recur in
Boom. That's a pretty good question. And here's the very clear answer. It depends. And what we don't know is, again, what I've been telling you is we don't know why. While I'm palpating the next cow and she's normal and I'm throwing out, numbers and symbols and he's writing stuff, we start talking about it. What happened to her a month ago? Doc, she actually had a really hard dystocia. She got milk fever. She got pretty bad ketotic. She actually thought she had a twist for a couple of days. Doc came out twice, looked at her, kind of got over it. Because of all that, she had some metritis. And then you start going, hey, maybe that wasn't her fault. Okay? And then we're going to be nice to her one time. Now, if she comes through, and that's a heifer, and she just had her first calf, everything's gone great, and you say, hey, who's she out of? And they say, I got an old 53 cow, the one that has cysts all the time. Now what are we talking about? You dang right. You dang right. Or I need to find out who her sire is, and I start looking for familial tendencies. Okay? So we can surmise what may be the fault. And everybody's going to get a chance. We'll give a chance, because for that heifer, the reason I'm saying that we may play with her and manipulate her, how long does it take for us to get our money back on heifer? On heifer rearing and feeding and management. So cow is going to, we want these girls to calve at what year of age? 2, as a 2-year-old. Okay, as a 2-year-old. Alright? So, for instance, if she was born in September, all the way around to the next September, she's 12 months. By December or so, January at the latest, I need her bred. 9-month gestation, she has a calf next September. She calves on, we'd love for her to calve on her own birthday. Okay, right on that 2-year window, all right? You got 2 years to feed that thing. And she's been nothing but a consumer. When do you break even? And when do you start making money? How many calves, how many lactations is she gonna need to pay for herself? At least 2. At least 2. So we need that 5-year-old cow in her 3rd lactation, which should be peak milk. She's physically and sexually mature. Now, she's sexually capable as soon as she goes through puberty, but she's not physically mature, so she's not going to reach her lactational nor for her reproductive potential. Following on that logic, you can turn yearling bull out in pasture 14, 15 months. There's only so much he can do. You turn 5-year-old bull out there, it's exponential with the amount of work he can do. Okay, because he don't love them. He don't fall in love with them. Okay, he is next, notch on the belt. Next, little yearling bull, find the first cow and eat and follow her around for the rest of the breed. All the other cows are out there just riding each other, you know, for the next 75 days. I love you. That's the way it goes in bovine reproduction. All right. So we need her to get to that 5-year-old stage, have that 3rd lactation, so I can get into money. Anybody know? Let me ask you a question. Now let's Chad ask us a question. Anybody know what the average lactational span is? Life expectancy. The average, not the goal, not what we want, but how many lactations does the average modern day dairy cow go through in the United States? 6. So she would be 8 years old, at least, right? Everything went to plan. 8 years old. If I take other options, that usually means 8 is not right. Any other? 5, 4, 3, you want to go up, you want to go down? 2.3 lactation. They barely make money. Barely make money. That's why the most successful functional dairies have 3,000 cows. They don't love them. If you get off normal, you get off the farm. I've got 6 embryos, full sisters to you. Get out of here. Next. It is a physiologic machine. It is, and they have been treated, they've been ramped up to be treated like a machine. And it's a teetering toy line of investment and cost return on investment. Okay? And when, I got 3,000 cows and I got 500 heifers ready to go, if you're average or below average, sorry. Chad, you had a question?
Yeah, so if you had a cow, and she had a sister go with,
Yeah.
and you'll just figure out that she eventually start cycling again.
Probably not. If she's a mare, yes. Why? Seasonal. We wait long enough, the brain will reset itself due to pineal gland, optic chiasm, melanin production. She'll start over when the days get longer. Cow, polyestrus. Just a cow with a cyst. That's it. She is no good unless you want to grind her up. Hey, you stay here as long as you produce. There are plenty that make it longer than that. Okay, there are plenty of good cows, and obviously those are the cows. Many times the cows end up becoming very productive early in their lives, or due to what's the data that we have to measure you on to say this girl is going to be awesome. Now, we haven't stood her up yet to see if she has like, 7 legs, sticking out from under her, but if she hits the ground and stands up, boy, she's gonna be awesome. What are those numbers that we look at? EPDs. What are EPDs, John? Expected progeny difference. We have statistics on every good cow out there. And it's a numbers game. And so if she is even the potential, here's what drives me nuts. We've got cows that have never lactated being the driving force of the genetics of some farms because she's got numbers. Okay? That's genotype. Remember we talked about genotypic sex. Got to get it all programmed right. But phenotypically, it's got to come out normal, and then I've got to have libido and drive to delivery. Okay? Just because we have a genotype doesn't mean we will display phenotype. One of the coolest things right now that I think about EPDs is that they now have a whole nother index called accuracy. What do we think the actual ability is that they can pass that gene on and it is phenotypically expressed? So there's people still getting enamored by these EPDs. I look at these EPDs, I say, ooh, that animal has great potential. I go down the line on my EPD chart in the herd sire book or in the herd book, in the registry, and I'll say, what's the accuracy? 0.17. Top 1% of the breed in EPD, 0.17. Buy as much semen as I can buy from that bull, right? No. We don't know how effective he is at actually delivering that gene to the next generation. Right? And there's other indices. That's just a really quick picture of EPDs. I'm trying to get my father-in-law, who was a really big partner at this international accounting firm, who loves numbers. I'm trying to get him to go and buy some cows with me. He was concerned that he doesn't have much knowledge base about cattle. I assured him that's not why I wanted him to be my partner. I need capital, and you have that. But I really think he would enjoy those numbers, looking at predictabilities and all those kind of things. Where are we at? We're done. I've been done. All right, so tomorrow, any other questions? Y'all follow me? Does that make sense? Tomorrow, we need to finish the second half over here of luteinization without ovulation, and that won't take us long because it's going to build on all the stuff we talked about today, and we'll finish by stopping and looking at each major female or the domestic species, kind of the big four, looking at her individual follicular or her estrous cycle. We talked about that cow, but let's finish up this whole cyclicity by looking at each